Wednesday. We've got 3 sections this evening to get through, quite a lot of work. We're going to have a nice small general warm-up, and then we're pretty much going to get straight into our first piece today. Now, first piece on the menu, we're going to have 5 sets of 60 seconds overhead lunges. So 30 seconds will be on your right, 30 seconds will be on your left. After that, you're going to do 5 vertical or broad jumps, depending on what space you have, and we will show you those 2 variations. But you're going to get some jumps in. So it's going to be some 60 seconds overhead lunges, some 5 jumps, and then we'll take 60 seconds rest between that. Once we finish that, we're going to move on to part B. Part B today, 5 sets again. We've got 30 seconds of squat thrusts, 30 seconds of glute bridges, and then 30 seconds of mountain climbers with 60 seconds rest. Again, we will talk through those movements and variations when we get there, but it's going to be a lot of legs, a lot of heavy breathing with that one. Finally today, 3 rounds for time, 30 sit-ups, 20 hand release push-ups, and 15 dips. So we're going to move away from the legs, try and hit some of those abs and a little bit of upper body and pushing, etc. Okay, so that's going to be our last part today. So getting you back to part A, getting us off the shared screen, and we're going to see Dan there, and we're going to start with a very general warm-up. Dan's going to take his arms and he's going to start performing forward circles with his arms up into those ears. We're going to do 10 forward circles. Start joining in straight away, people. I'll talk you through this time. Once Dan's done 10, he's going to do 10 backwards. Again, getting up into those ears, really try and open up those shoulders. 10 reverse arm circles, and then we're going to move into 10 under and over. Switching arms over top and bottom. And then we're going to do 10 rotations. Start moving that torso once we've done that. So really trying to get round, start getting to that torso rotating. 10 reps, 5 each side. After our 10 rotations, we're going to do 10 kick throughs, 5 each side. So opposite arm, opposite leg. That's coming through, kicking as high as we can, reaching to the hand. After the 10, we're going to do 10 air squats. Taking our time through these. Make sure we keep those arms up as we come down. Stand to full extension, hip crease below, parallel, weight on the heels, and toes slightly turned out. All that good jazz. 10 air squats. We're then going to come to the bottom of the squat hold on the last one, and we're going to hold it down there for a 20-second count, roughly. Try and feel your way in there. Bring your arms inside your knees now, and now we push your knees out and then push over to one ankle. So lean over to one side, and then we're going to lean over to the other side. Stand up, shake it out. We're going to do now just 5 walkouts or inchworms, hands only, to finish off here. So just walking our hands out as far as we can, getting our hands past our shoulders. Ideally trying to get our nose as close to the ground as we can while maintaining a nice plank position, people, i.e. your hips are not sagging, my low back is not caving. All right, we're going to just do 5 here. And then we're going to move into part A today in a pretty brisk fashion. So 5 of these. And once you've done 5, shake it out, grab a drink if you're catching up. Just listen up as me and Dan discuss part A for you. Okay, so we've got 5 sets of 30 seconds right, 30 seconds left overhead lunges. So we're not going to alternate lunges. All right, on this we are going to stay on one leg for 30 seconds and then we will switch to the other leg. Dan's got a small dumbbell there. He's going to place that over his head. Remember, he's trying to have a nice locked out arm. And if we come side on for me, Dan, just for a second. So you can see, guys, his arm is locked out fully. He's now going to just step forward with that one leg, making sure if you can, that knee kisses the ground and all that good stuff. Trying to keep the shin as vertical as possible. Doesn't have to be extreme, but we want to see as positive shin angle. All right, so from the front, that's what we're looking like, okay? Now, once I say switch, you will also, if you've got a dumbbell, switch arms, and then you will switch the legs. And then if you haven't got a dumbbell, we can use a plate, all right? So Dan's got a plate there to his side. So if you haven't got a dumbbell, a plate is perfect. You could even hold a big book or something overhead, okay? Cool. Vertical jumps. So if you haven't got space to jump around, i.e. across the room, then you're just going to jump. So you're just going to load, explode. So remember, we're going to load, jump high as we can, taking time to set ourselves between each rep. This is not squat jumps where we go into one rep after the other. Broad jump, Dan's going to go to the edge of his box. And he's going to obviously just bring his arms up, load back, load, explode. He'll turn around if he needs to, or he'll go back to where he wants to. Vice versa, okay? If you've only got limited space, then yeah, you can still broad jump, just obviously not gonna broad jump straight through into your neighbor's flat, all right? Cool, so that's gonna be part A. I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds. I get Dan, just get organized, and then we're gonna get straight into this. Remember, on this first set, we stay with one leg going back and forth. So if we're going right arm, you might go left leg. If you're going left arm, you might go right leg, okay? All right. Getting the stopwatch on. 10 seconds, people. Ideally working for that entire 60-second time period. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. All right, as we ease into this first set, you should be using this as kind of a second warm-up or prepping again for our next two pieces today. I will tell you when to switch. Dan is staying on that left leg, going forward and back, but he's in the right arm. So when he switches, he'll switch arms and he will switch legs. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Dan is now switching arms, and now he's going to step forward with the other leg. 30 seconds. If you're using a plate or something with both arms, just remember you will switch legs, that's all. 20 seconds. 15, 10 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now clear your space, take your time, one jump at a time, load and explode. We are trying to focus and get as high as we can. Obviously after those lunges, your legs are a little bit cooked, so it's going to feel like you're jumping with a load of weight weighing you down. Just 5 is all we're looking for. And once you've done 5, we will rest 60 seconds from my end. So I'm going to go up to 1 minute 30 here, and then I'll start 60 seconds. So we've got a little bit extra time, but 60 seconds is now on. Our next set will start at 2 minutes 30. Now, what we're going to do on this round, if you want to, that is, Dan was stepping forward. I'm now going to ask him to step backwards into a reverse lunge, just to mix this up a little bit. 30 seconds. You can obviously change implement if you want to. If you're finding your implement is too hard, you can change implement. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Moving into second set in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Dan is going to step back from me now. It's going to be a challenge, finding that balance. Okay, now with a reverse lunge, overhead lunge, you've got to step back quite far. 15 seconds. Use that arm for balance. 10 seconds. When I say switch, again, you're going to switch those legs. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switching legs. Remember the reverse lunge. Step back further than you think, all right? Further than you think. Lunges, very interesting. Forward to backwards, completely changes the movement. Also because you cannot see behind you. You haven't got your eyes in the back of your head. So you've got to feel your way back there. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, 5 jumps of whatever variation you want to do. If you want to do broad jumps this time, that's great. If you want to just do vertical jumps, again, stick with vertical jumps. Dan, sticking with vertical jumps here. Just 5 reps. I'm not looking for you to bang these out. It should be a reset of feet underneath your hips, arms up, throw them back, and jump overhead. 5 seconds, and I will start. Rest again. 2 sets down, 60 seconds on the clock. Dan's going to go back to a forward lunge for this round. And if you want to do the same, do so. If you found that your reverse lunges were a bit suspect or a bit dodgy, then maybe stick with that one. And vice versa, if you found your forward lunges were a bit ropey, iron those out. 30 seconds. "20 seconds, people. "10 seconds, starting set 3. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, from what you can see here, Dan has a very straight arm, and that's what we're looking for with these lunges, and that's the challenge, is to maintain that straight arm, as well as get into that full lunge position. If you are finding your arm is bent, the object is too heavy. All right, so scale it down. Maybe you've got to go just with your arm above your head. That's absolutely fine. 3, 2, 1, and switching out. Moving on to our next leg. Let's try and maintain some sort of rep scheme if you've got now an idea of what you're doing. And as you're doing these lunges, you're going to find where you feel stronger, what doesn't feel as tight. 10 seconds. That's all the reason why we do a lot of single leg stuff. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Moving into our jumps again. Dan has moved to a broad jump now. With the broad jumps, make sure you're pushing those hips back, and we're pushing and propelling ourselves forward through the air, not straight up. So this is not a straight up jump. This is a pushing through. You see how far we can get across the floor. Excellent. Starting rest in 2, 1. 60 seconds on the clock. 2 more sets to go. "40 seconds. "30 seconds, people. "20. 15 seconds, and we're going to be moving into set 4. So this and 1 more left. 10 seconds. Here we go. 5, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Again, choose that variation for yourself that you want to do. Dan is sticking with his forward lunges on this set. 15 seconds is gone. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Switching arms. Make sure you're switching those legs as well. All right, we're trying to even this out across the body. It's quite common for you to feel actually stronger on your non-dominant side, but equally, some people feel weaker on their non-dominant side. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Moving into our jumps again. Down, sticking with the broad jumps this round again. Remember, we're just hitting 5 good jumps, focusing on loading and exploding. Obviously, your legs are feeling quite heavy after you've done all that jumping. 5 seconds for rest. 3, 2, 1. 60 seconds on. 1 more round. Now, once we finish this round, I'm going to give you 3 minutes rest to let your legs recover, because we are going to be moving into a more leg-based movement, albeit not as taxing as this first section. 40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds, people. Last round, 10. Here we go, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. We're hitting this last set now. Let's have a big focus on that arm and leg. Trying to keep those ribs down as best you can, i.e. we're not heaving through our low back. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and moving again. Last time now on this side. And last time on lunges in total. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit your last jumps for me, and then you're going to rest up. Dan going for his verticals to finish. Imagining you're Michael Jordan right now. Great. Okay, we are finished now on that first piece. We're putting 3 minutes on the clock. We're going to let Dan recover a little bit, and then we will quickly talk through this next piece. And I'll quickly bring this back onto the screen now as Dan is resting. So if you're grabbing a drink, whatever you're doing, make sure you're looking at the screen. So again, we've got 5 sets of squat thrusts into glute bridges, into mountain climbers, and then a 60 seconds rest. This is all going to be body weight. You don't need any implement. So just be aware of that. Bring you back to Dan here. Squat thrust, a little bit of a change on this. We're going to start sideways on. We're going to start in that plank position. Okay, press up position. Dan's going to bring his feet up to his hands, and then he's going to stand tall. Okay, then he's going to bring his hands back, feet up to the top, stand tall. Okay, so that's going to be the difference with the squat thrust. Okay, essentially it's a bit of a down up, but without the chest going to the floor. So we're going to call that our squat thrust tonight. Glute bridge, we're going to lie on our back, making sure our heels are as close to our bum as we can while keeping them on the floor. Dan is then going to squeeze and push his glutes up to the ceiling, all right? Try not to arch too hard in your low back. You just want to imagine you're squeezing a walnut between your bum, dropping the hips down, pushing back up. Watch again, hips down, pushing back up. but not hyperextending the back. Dan, can you just show a real hyperextension of the back in the top position? All right, so not this, people. Okay, we don't want to see that. So keeping those ribs and trunk nice and tight. That's your glute bridge. Mountain climbers, we have done plenty of this lockdown, but remember we are press up position again and alternating knees to elbows. All right. 90 seconds now before we get going. So again, 30 seconds of squat thrusts, straight into 30 seconds of glute bridges, straight into 30 seconds of mountain climbers, and then we'll rest 60 seconds. I'm going to give you 1 minute, and then we're going to move straight into this. So just remember, with the squat thrusts, we're going to stand and start standing up. We'll bring our hands down to the floor, kick our feet out behind us, bring them back up, stand tall. 30 seconds coming up. I'm going to reset the clock here when we do that. Okay, coming up on 15 seconds. 10 seconds, people. Here we go. Watching Dan if you're confused. 3, 2, hands back down, kick the legs out, back up, okay? Squat thrust. 30 seconds, continuous movement. It will go quick as you kick those feet back out. Maintain that nice plank position. Don't let those hips sag. We want to stay nice and strong, rigid. 10 seconds, and then we're going to move straight onto our back sides for glute bridges in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels as close to your bum as you can, pushing up, keeping those ribs down. Don't hyperextend through your back. Trying to squeeze a walnut between your butt cheeks. Big push and squeeze. If you do this correctly, you should feel your butt cheeks cramping, or at least they should be getting a bit warm. 15 seconds. And then once we've done this, we'll roll over onto our front in 10, back into mountain climbers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press up position, alternating knees to elbows, knees to elbows. Try and push the entire way through because you are going to get 60 seconds rest. 20 seconds, keep going now, people. Breathe, 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Keep holding it in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. Resting for 60. That's 1 set done. We've got 4 more of those. So if you found that quite comfortable, that first round, goal this round is to speed up your squat thrusts and your mountain climbers, the glute bridges. Ideally, we're looking for quality over the quantity variation there. 30 seconds coming up. Twenty seconds. 15 seconds, people. And 10. Here we go. 5, 3, 2, 1. Legs back out. Bring them up. Stand tall. Hands down. Legs back and up. There we go. Try it, and if you can, speed those up if you can, or stay consistent. 20 seconds. It's all body weight stuff. You should be able to keep moving for these 30-second periods. 10 seconds. It's not long on these movements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Glute bridges. Remember, keep those ribs down. Dan's kind of keeping his hands on his torso there. That makes him think about engaging his abs at the same time as he's squeezing his bum. All right, this is not a separation of your hips from your torso. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers. Let's bust these out. Alternating knees to elbow. 30 seconds again. Mountain climber is an extremely heart-raising movement and very lactic acid inducing, especially on the tops of those legs. That's the focus to try and push through there. You've got 10 seconds. Keep going, even those legs are burning. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time there for second sets. 60 seconds on the clock. 2 sets done. Well done at home. Forty seconds. Twenty seconds, people, for set 3. Ten seconds, everybody. All right, back to our squat thrusts. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Get those knees up quick. Stand tall. Get those hands straight down to the floor. In, out. As they say, shake it all about. Good stuff. 20 seconds. Be very dynamic and quick. As soon as you get those feet out, you try and pull those feet back in as quickly as you can. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Rolling back, glute bridges. Off we go. 30 seconds. Now, it's possible to load these up. We haven't really spoke about it, but you can put a dumbbell across your hips if you wanted to add some weight to these. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Remember, if you start feeling your low back, it looks like you might be hyperextending. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers. Off we go. This will end round 3. 20 seconds. 15. Really keep pushing through on these, is the hardest bit. 10 seconds. We're nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done with that. Set 3 is down. Nice work. If you manage to hold and keep working that entire 30 seconds. And again, on these 2 rounds, if you wanted to, you could spice up your glute bridges with a dumbbell across your hips. Hopefully counting down the days now until we're back in the gym, as Dan spoke about on Monday. 30 seconds on the clock. Looking like a 12th of April opening, potentially. 20 seconds. 15. 10 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and off we go again. Squat thrusts, in and out. Nice and quick to standing, people, on this one. You haven't got to go chest to floor like a burpee, so you should be able to move dynamically back to your standing position. 15 seconds. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go into our glute bridges. Dan has put a dumbbell onto his hips now. But remember, do not hyperextend that back, okay? You're trying to keep your glutes and your torso nice and neutral, i.e. keeping your ribs down, thinking about those hollow positions we always hammer on about. Everything is connected, okay? And everything starts at the center. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Into mountain climbers, blasting through for another 30. This takes us to the end of set 4. 20 seconds. 15. Keep pushing through. Really try and minimize the rest. 10 seconds. Dig, dig, dig. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax, people. Well done. We have got one more round left. It's taken us just a little over 10 minutes on this piece. And then we've got a final piece to finish for time. It's the upper body. 40 seconds. 30 seconds, everybody. Twenty seconds. In 10 seconds, we're on to our last round of squat thrusts, glute bridges, and mountain climbers. 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Last set. Keeping moving at that consistent, steady pace and trying not to break up movements here. We're trying to move from one to the next to the next. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5. Down, rolling back. 3, 2, 1. And into those glute bridges for the last time. Remember, pushing and squeezing those glutes, those heels as close to your bum as you can. Emphasizing that glute bridge. 10 seconds. Counting you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into mountain climbers. Give me 30 seconds of strong finish here. All the way through, people. $20 seconds to go. Give me a strong finish now for 15. Come on. Nearly done. 10 seconds, everybody. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 time on our second piece today. All right, well done there. I'm going to give you another 3 minutes. And you give Dan a second to recover, and we're going to share back to our last piece. If you're grabbing a drink, keep your eyes on the screen. Last piece today again, 3 rounds for time, 30 sit-ups, 20 hand release push-ups, and 15 dips. We will talk about a couple of scaling options and what we're looking for, especially on the sit-ups, hand release push-ups. 2 movements that people try to muscle or cheat, for lack of a better word, through. Stopping the share here now. We're going to come back to the man, Dan, and we're going to talk through our sit-ups. Dan's got a mat. Remember, if you're on a carpet at home, put something underneath you. You do not want carpet burn on your low back. Remember, as always, sit-ups here for us, our feet together in that butterfly position. Our arms start behind us, touching the floor. We use our arms as much as we need to then sit up and touch our shoelaces, okay? So you can throw them back and throw them forward. The main thing is we want to see hands touch the floor and feet touch the shoelaces. Hand release push-ups. We changed the scale, the standard on this a little while ago. So what's going to happen is we start press up position. We're going to come all the way down to the floor. Hands going above the head and then back up into that press up position, okay? So we want to actually see our hands fully come off the ground instead of just a little bit. Obviously, if you're on your knees, the same thing applies. You know that scaling by now. Dips What we're looking for is a parallel position, or that elbow just slightly above the shoulder. So watching Dan drops his hips down, you can see it's kind of at a parallel position. We don't need to go any further than that. We need to protect the shoulder, but we're trying to focus on that chest and tricep. Okay, bent legs or bent or straight legs is up to you. If you want to increase this challenge of this, you could put a weight across your torso, but not a heavy one, or you could elevate your feet onto a plate to increase the range of motion. But remember, we do not need to see excessive range of motion on that dip. We're going to give you 1 minute now, and then we're going to move straight into this. It is going to be 3 rounds of time. Realistically, we're looking at under 12 minutes. That might be generous, depending on how good you are on the push-ups. The sit-ups, you should be able to bang through quite consistently. It's going to be the push-ups, which probably is going to take your time. Dips as well, but you will be able to move a little bit quicker, I am guessing. 40 seconds, people, and we're going to start this workout. A lot of parts on this day. Give you a full body session. 30 seconds. In 20 seconds, we're starting with our 30 sit-ups. 10 seconds, and we're off. Last little finish, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. So 30 sit-ups. Remember, the soles of your feet are together, making that butterfly position, so you can then come through and touch your shoelaces. We're looking for 30 reps. Obviously, if you struggle with sit-ups, you need to anchor your feet down, then you won't be able to do this butterfly position, but you can anchor your feet down with a plate, maybe on top of your feet, or you can use a dumbbell to then pull against, all right? Some people do struggle on the sit-up, that's absolutely fine. So anchor yourself down if you've got to. Really push yourself through these 30 sit-ups. This is the easiest of the 3 movements that you've got to get through. And the less likely movement you're going to have to break up. Obviously, if you've got an ab mat, use that as well. After your 30, you're into Hamburgers Press-Ups. Remember, I want to see those hands above the head. Remember, hips and shoulders and chest are rising at the same time. We are not seeing snaky hips here. Dan is giving you a great demonstration of what that should look like. We are not warming up. So I don't want to see people, or here, should I say, people pushing off their hips. Everything leaves the floor at the same time. And if you notice, Dan has, or as you're going through, I'll tell you, Dan has his tippy toes pushing into the ground the entire time. That then stops him pushing off his feet as well, which is another common issue we see with this movement. Be strict on yourself, people, is what we're trying to say. Dan's finished his Hamburgers push-ups. He's now moving into his dips. This first round, you should be able to move through this pretty consecutively and unbroken. Remember, on the dips, we're just looking for that parallel position. Maybe the elbow is slightly above the shoulder, but no more than that. Think about squeezing at the top, flexing the back of the arm as you do so. Dan has now finished his first round in about 2 minutes 20. He's now moving into his second round. So realistically here, people, we are looking for under 10 minutes, ideally. Obviously, as each round goes through, you will slow down a little bit. That's normal, but try and keep moving, especially through the sit-ups. Three minutes has now elapsed. And Dan's ticking through these sit-ups nicely. Remember, people, use your arms. A lot of people forget to use their arms. But that first initiation off the floor is obviously you're trying to sit up fast, and the arms help you to do so. This is not isolated crunches we're doing here. And is moving now into his 20 hand release press-ups. Not break these up, but it's inevitable that the arms are going to start getting a bit tired. So if that starts happening, hey, it might be sets of 5, it might be 2 sets of 10. But try and always, when you're working through workouts, stick to a number. You know your body better than anybody else. Stick to a number, shake it out, and get back in. So I think Dan's just broken off at 10 there. He's probably counting down in his head, and then he's going to go again. We always try to say to people 5 seconds or 10 seconds in your head, and then get going again. Or 3 deep breaths is a good way to then keep yourself focused and pushing through a workout. Dan is now finishing his last set of 5. So the 2 sets of 10 was too much. That's fine. And that's going to happen, people, because the hand release push complete dead stop position, taking out the stretch reflex of a normal press up. Dan's into his dips now. Maybe he might be able to go for an 8 and 6. Bench dips, you can use to you. Just make sure your hands are not too narrow behind you. All right, that kind of just makes it uncomfortable. Dan finishing his second round now at 5 minutes 40-ish, and he's moving to his last round, which means he's on for that under 10-minute time frame here. And that's what I want you guys to keep trying to push towards wherever you're at. Maybe you're ahead, maybe you're slightly behind, or maybe you're right there with him. We're all trying to aim for now this under 10-minute time frame. Last set of sit-ups, when you always get to that last round, it's always a bit more like you get a second wind, because you know it's the last time you're going to perform a movement. Those middle rounds is where workouts are made or lost, really. Six minutes 30 gone. If you're not done, once we finish this, you're going to pause the video. I will shout time when we have finished here. But if you haven't, you're going to pause the video and keep working through until 12 minutes is going to be the max time for this workout. So you're going to have a 12-minute time cap on this workout. We have now hit 7 minutes. So it's getting increasingly tighter now for Dan, but he's moving into his push-ups now. And this is still doable for him if he stays focused here, all right? He's probably going to go for a 10 maybe again, maybe 5s though. If this is me, I'd probably go 4 sets of 5 at this point. But everybody has strengths and weaknesses, certain movements they can push a little harder on than others. If you know my love of burpees, then you'll understand. That's being sarcastic if you didn't get that. Dan's done 10. Looking like he's going to hit another set of 5 here. And we're about to hit the 8-minute mark. So 2 minutes remain if you're trying to get under 10 minutes, 4 minutes in total to complete the workout though. Keep going down. Here's his last press up. Good, right, mentally now, we just got 15 dips to go. You've got 90 seconds to try and get under 10 minutes. Definitely doable, but it's important when you get to these points and you feel the clock, you've got to make sure you rest it up a little bit because you don't want to have to take too many breaks between your movements. You want to be able to bust out a good amount of reps, then take your rest, and then again, consistency. Dan's got plenty of time now. We've hit the 9-minute mark. When I shout time here, remember to pause your screen if you're still going, start a stopwatch. You've got 3 minutes left. Time for Dan. We were done in 9:14. Pause it for you guys and finish off. If you have finished, now we are going to move into a cool down in about a minute's time. Dan's going to choose 4 stretches. And I'll talk you through those in about a minute's time. Well done on all those pieces. Quite a lot to get through there. Taking us up nearly to the hour today. All right, first stretch coming down for you now, people. Starting on our chests, Sphinx position. So Dan's just on his forearms, all right. This is less severe, well, not severe, but less, let me reword that. This is easier than Cobra. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Moving into our second stretch. Child's pose, both arms on top of the head. So we're getting those triceps involved there. Dan's trying to sit back, obviously, into his hips, but we're also trying to make sure we feel the underside of the arms at the same time. Child's pose with hands on top of the head. 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. And next stretch. Come onto those knees. Feeding that elbow behind you and pulling it down with the opposite arm as far behind you as you can. If you need to do this standing, that's absolutely fine. But on your knees is also fine as well. Switching it out. Other arm. And then relaxing there. Last stretch for the day. Starting with a lunge, we're just going to push that knee forward over that toe, pushing that hip forward, but make sure you're keeping that torso again connected to your hips. We're not hyperextending through the back. So Dan is obviously trying to push his hips forward, but he is not extending his low back. Very important, people, how your torso always stays connected to your hips. You don't leave one behind. Switching it out there for our last one and last side. Dan's side on there for you. He's got his knees on his elbow and just allows him to push his knee a little bit more further forward. But again, he's still focusing on keeping that trunk neutral. 15 seconds. Yeah, as he just showed you there, what hyperextension might look like. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax, people. Well done for Wednesday. See you tomorrow if you're in, Thursday, Friday, and good stuff. Take care.